sorcerers, huh? You're a sorcerer.
Maki and Mochi are chillin'. Look at this. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Hi. Hi. I low-key realized you guys have not met Mochi yet. So this is Mochi. It's Maki's sister. You know, wow. Are you happy? Are you having a good time? But yeah, this is Mochi. This is Maki's sister. She's, you know, they're in the middle of a nap, so I'm gonna stop bothering them after I give them a little pets. Well, I guess I'm not bothering them because it seems like they want some pets. Oh my god. Are you guys napping? Are you guys napping? They're so cute! Uh-oh, someone's a little jealous. Don't worry, I still love you. Yeah, no, this cat tree was an investment. Dude, they are chillin'. Chillin'! We got a package. Right here in this box is Arcanian Supplements' new hydration formula. But yeah, so this package got to me a bit late and unfortunately got lost in shipment. My apartment complex is really annoying when it comes to packages. All that matters is that we have it right now, and I'm gonna try it to see whether or not it is worth your money, because I'm always brutally honest with Arcanian's products. So far, none of them have been bad. I guess I am biased, but at the end of the day, if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. Oh yeah, and I should probably mention, I did have a code change to code Fushi. Shameless plug. If you do want to buy any products from Arcanian, whether it be their pre-workout, this shaker cup that I'm going to drink this from, anything else like their smelling salts, be sure to use code Fushi at checkout for 10% off your order. It helps me out. At the end of the day, if you are going to buy from them and you don't want to use my code, use one of the other athletes at least, because it helps them out and gives you guys a discount. So there's really no reason not to. Yeah, opening this is gonna be, you know what? I'm just gonna feel like a monkey.
Filthy monkey who can't even use jujutsu.
Oh yeah. Bang! Look at this beauty. Oh, and of course, in classic Arcanian fashion, we got a Rice Krispie treat. Now, I already have a giant box of this. I love them, so I'm not complaining. I'll take a free one. Like, what? That's sick. Alrighty, so I got my Arcanian shaker right here. Yeah, I don't know exactly how much water I was supposed to put in, so hopefully I chose the right amount. God damn it. There we go. Probably do that first. Well, that wasn't a good idea. Very limey. Where's the scooper? This is the only thing that sucks about, like, dude, this ain't super. Any powder formula, right, that you have to like scoop is like getting the scooper. Look at my fingers now. Look like I just came straight out of Wall Street. Tastes a little chalky. Well, that's just the powder, but I should not have done that. Ugh. I don't know. How much water am I supposed to put in? Let me see. Yeah, no, I put way too much water. Okay. Okay. No, it tastes a lot better now. Okay. You're definitely not supposed to put that much water in. That was my bad. Yeah, make sure you follow the instructions. You know, I'm actually pleasantly surprised with this formula. I have to run to class, but just to give a quick rating, I would say it's about an 8. Personally, I just don't like lemon lime things. I will say though, I would definitely recommend mixing this with your pre. Oh, hi Maki. Hi. Oh no, she's gonna make me late to class. Maki, you can't distract me. You can't. But yeah, no, I would definitely recommend mixing it with Eternal Legacy if you have it, because it's blackberry lemonade, lemon lime electrolytes. It's gonna mix well. It's gonna hydrate you. It's gonna give you a better pump. I'm gonna run to class and I'll catch you guys in the gym.
So right now, in this moment here, I make the decision to just not miss. That's a decision that you can make before this set. And it's got nothing to do with bodybuilding. Nothing. It's got everything to do with a personal victory that you decide whether you're going to take right now in this moment or not. Many people won't understand that. Fuck them. People don't have to understand. and you'll understand what I mean. Because this moment here, you're not about to do this forever. So fucking enjoy it whilst you can.
Alrighty, I think it's time we finally get into what this video is actually about. My problem with the science-based lifting community. Really, this kind of applies to the lifting community as a whole. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with social media recently, but it has been just an absolute... Yeah, it's been something. You see, on one hand, we have the stretch cult, which... you know what, I'm gonna get to that later. Then we have the bro scientists, and then you have what I like to call the science-based Avengers. That being people like Ryan Jewers, Elijah Mundy, TNF, Clark Kent, Paul Carter, Chris Beardsley. But yeah, this brings me to my first problem. Let's talk about the opinionated scientists. So speaking of which, let's first talk about the stretch cult, okay? Because it's driving me nuts. I feel like the stretch cult leaders would be Dr. Mike Israetel, Jeff Nippard, and Dr. Wolf. I can't, dude. There are quite literally people with PhDs that just say factually wrong information all the time, okay? Dr. Mike Israetel, I don't even know what he says half the time. Like, it just, I don't know, man. It's something else. Jeff Nippard, I have a lot of respect for Jeff Nippard because he's helped me out in a variety of ways, but I'm slowly losing respect for him because he just can't give up on the stretch. The most popular study on what he was preaching was conducted by him, in which he proved himself wrong. You literally can't make that up. Dr. Wolf, I'm calling this guy out. The one thing I can't get out of my brain that this guy has said is, you know, honestly, just roll the clip.
The most popular quadricep isolation exercise is the leg extension. Of all the quad isolation exercises, this is probably the worst one. It's missing a ton of stretch.
Look, the leg extension just doesn't offer a ton of bang for buck.
But meh. C tier.
What? So that's the first issue that I kind of wanted to address. It's just the whole opinionated scientists, outcome data enthusiasts. Like, it's a huge issue. They're basically just constantly spreading misinformation. It's really, really bad. And it's causing a lot of confusion, which adds to another thing, the regurgitator issue. Now, I myself am actually guilty of this in the past, okay? Nowadays, I very much make sure that I know what I'm saying. However, back then, I was completely peak on the Dunning-Kruger effect, as a lot of people are, regurgitating information that I just didn't fully understand, under the impression that I knew what I was talking about. And the problem about this is it adds so much fuel to the fire. The best way I can describe how all this misinformation gets spread is through the regurgitators. Think of it this way, right? Imagine this whole scenario as just a giant game of telephone. So you have people that are saying factually correct information, you have some people that are saying factually incorrect information, some people that are just saying information that doesn't really add to anything. And it goes from person to person to person to person, regurgitated, and what ends up happening is, that is where we get bro science. That's where we get people saying like, oh, gotta do drop sets, or gotta do all these length and partials and stuff. A lot of times these concepts are rooted in science. It's just drastically misinterpreted, and the information that gets spread from person to person, which leads to more confusion. On a similar end to the whole regurgitation issue, there's a lot of people that will post content that is just straight up rage bait and don't clarify anything in the description whatsoever. Once again, I have definitely made this mistake plenty of times. But the problem about that is, sure, right, it does boost engagement, so it does boost a bunch of views, but then what ends up happening is you just have an entire audience of confused people, an entire audience of mad people, and then the comments just become a cesspool of regurgitation, insults. You get the whole idea, and it just adds more fuel to the fire. So it's making it a lot harder for a lot of these people to get into lifting and to lifting optimally, because they don't understand what you're supposed to take seriously, what's a joke, what's rage bait, what's not rage bait, etc. Maki, what are you doing? Can you stop? Can you stop doing that? Now, more on the whole opinionated scientist whole debacle, let's talk about the outcome versus mechanistic data issue. Now, a lot of the current research is focused on outcomes, okay? And all you need to know is that they only care about the results of the experiment and not the mechanisms that are involved in play that explain those results. The reason why this is important is because everything matters with context. A lot of people take science-based lifting and try and make all these bipolar claims and say, oh, it can only be this way. This is the right way to do things. Nothing else works. And the problem is that everything matters with context. There is some truth into what works for me. For example, let's talk about the whole failure issue, right? A lot of people are saying, no, you should only go 1 to 2 reps in reserve. A lot of people are saying you should only go to failure because you're going to get the most stimulus. It all matters with context. Let me give you an example, right? Let's compare seated versus laying hamstring curls. Seated hamstring curls are training your hamstrings from a longer length, whereas laying trains them from a shorter length. The reason why this is important is because when you're doing longer length training, it generates more fatigue and muscle damage. So the person who's doing seated hamstring curls is likely better off training with reps in reserve. However, the person who's doing laying hamstring curls could go to failure pretty much for the vast majority of the time, except maybe they want to train reps in reserve for another reason. Maybe it's to account for fatigue. Maybe they're doing more volume in their lift, right? So instead of doing 8 sets total, maybe they're doing 10 sets total. And because of that, they want to prioritize reps in reserve training so that they can save their fuel, so they can allow for them to essentially train more volume, right? And therefore get more results. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to context. Now, this actually brings me to another issue, and that is the lack of intensity. Since science-based lifting has pretty much popularized the whole low volume, high intensity approach to training, a lot of people are now focusing on, okay, what is the least I can do to still get results? Why would you want to think like that? You're adding micrograms of tissue to your frame, and you want to maximize that as much as possible. The little things all add up. Shout out to Clark Kent for this. Instead of thinking, what is the least I can do to progress, you want to have the mindset of what is the most I can do and still recover. Intensity is important, okay? And it's the foundation of growth at the end of the day. You need intensity so that you can target those high threshold motor units. You need to train with intensity. Now, the final thing I want to address is that people need to learn that it's okay to be wrong. We're imperfect. We make mistakes. This is one aspect of the Dunning-Kruger effect that a lot of people tend to fall victim to. The concept of thinking that you know everything is very, very dangerous of a ideology to develop, because you're essentially just limiting your capacity for success. Any expert is going to admit when they know nothing, or when they need to learn more about a topic, or when they don't fully understand a topic. It's okay to make mistakes, because at the end of the day, that's how we learn, but we have to hold ourselves accountable when we make those mistakes. For example, Jeff Nippard, he proved himself wrong with his own study, and instead of holding himself accountable and saying, yeah, hey, I messed up, I was wrong about this, he then proceeded to sway his explanations, so it still made his claims seem valid, and he's still pushing this false medium of stretch-mediated hypertrophy to everyone, okay? And it's terrible. Now, the reason why I'm recording this whole yap and why I'm so passionate about this topic is because the science-based lifting community has helped me in numerous ways. And it's really frustrating to watch it fall from grace and go down this path in which there's really just nothing but hate and confusion being spread across all groups across all viewpoints and ideologies. That's a good way of phrasing it. What I really think needs to happen is people need to learn to ask why. Why does this happen? Why does that happen? There's just too large of an appeal to authority in which people don't bother to form conclusions for themselves. Instead, they just blindly follow their favorite creator and basically take everything they say as truth. And it's an issue. Yeah, I think that about wraps up everything that I wanted to talk about in today's Yap segment. Let me know what you guys thought of it, and if you want me to make any more content like that in the future. If you did take away anything from that Yap, I hope it is to ask the question, why? Think for yourself. Trust me, don't just be a sheep. Now, with that being said, I don't know if you guys saw my story, but I had to re-edit this entire YouTube video, which is why I'm up at, it's 6 a.m. right now, I think. So yeah, if you did make it to the end of this video, please leave a black heart in the comments so I know you guys are the real ones. Thank you so much. It means a lot. It really does, because I love making content for you guys. This is what I want to do with my future. It's not only the career that I want for myself, but it's also the career that I know I have, and I just am living out the past necessary for that future. As crazy as that sounds, I just know I have it. So to wrap things up on a positive note, if you have a goal or a dream, no matter how outlandish it may seem, If you learn to force your perception that you have that goal in the future, it becomes almost impossible not to achieve it. I know it sounds crazy and kind of corny, you know, the whole law of attraction, oh, you gotta manifest, but the truth is, if you work your absolute ass off and do everything you can within your power to make something happen, the odds of it not happening are very slim. Everything that's come into this world was created with our minds. And this is also sort of rooted in bodybuilding as well. I mean, the reason why you fail is because the load required exceeds your perceived tolerable effort. So, quite literally, your perception is your reality. If you perceive something as impossible, then it is. But if you can force your perception into knowing that you have that goal and you have that dream, it becomes a lot more tangible than you might think. With that being said, I love you, Fushi Fam. I'll see you guys in the next episode of the Fushi Files. Peace!